This lead-in song only means one thing. Coach Giampa is back today with another version of his football preview for the week to come. Coach Giampa, great to see you, man. It's Thursday afternoon. That means there's a little football in the air. How are you?
Good, you? We're excited. This is it's been a really nice week weather-wise, so I'm not sure we'll have too many more of these. So we were excited out there this week.
Well, I'll tell you what, and as you should be, and I'll tell you what really excites me most is watching you guys last week during homecoming take care of business, and you had an opportunity to play against what I consider a pretty strong team in Monty Tech, and you guys came to play, and amidst all the weather and the field conditions and everything else, you got the job done. So why don't you talk a little bit about that and talk about that win and how that affects you guys moving forward.
Yeah, I think that was an awesome day. I was talking to Rick Carrero after the game, and I said, this is the first time since I've been here that homecoming really felt like homecoming. We had a lot of alumni here. People were really excited about it. The field, I mean, again, I thought the field was fine. We practice in it every day, like I told you.
Sure.
So our kids aren't afraid of the mud. I think they like to play in the mud. Um,
Yeah.
I look at it as an advantage for us. So we had a blast. We loved it. We loved playing in front of everybody and showing what kind of a team we have and ready to put Monty Tech behind us.
Well, and again, you did it with style. You guys did it. You didn't stop grinding. You put 50 plus points on the board, which obviously that's a huge accomplishment for any offensive unit. And your defense held pretty firm. Giving up the amount of points that they did. Talk about that a little bit and how that offensive juggernaut opportunity happens. And every possession is important as a head coach. You know that. You got to put points up on the board because it can cost you the W at the end if you miss out, especially if the defense has a couple of holes. So talk about that output. Was that a school record, 51 points?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's a group effort, right? I mean, I said after the game that obviously our backs are going to get a lot of credit, and they should. They work hard. We're very lucky that we have, the athletes that we do up here. Not just obviously Caden and Braden have had a lot of success, but Nick Adler has done a great job doing what we've asked him to do. Logan McCann does a phenomenal job working all week. Dill Nussey, so those guys all it's a group, and then obviously it all starts with the guys up front. Those guys don't get very much credit, but when you're pulling off 30, 40, 50 plus yard runs, that's a lot of up front, and those guys work as hard as anybody. We're very, very fortunate to have those guys that we do up there. They're selfless players. They enjoy playing. They get on each other. They push each other to get better. So offense is an 11-man operation. It takes all 11, everybody doing their job. And so, it starts up front. It's always going to start up front. Football, the essence of football are the 6, 7 guys who put their hand on the ground. This isn't 7-on-7. So those guys start everything, and I think our running backs are really fortunate to have those kind of guys up in front of them who work hard, who lead the way, and who aren't asking for any credit. But we'll keep giving it to them because we're excited.
Let's talk about some key notables from that game. Featured players. There were some big plays that happened, and again consistently. So from your mindset as the head coach, who do you want to recognize for standing out?
Well, defensively, I thought Hunter Davis had a phenomenal game. They ran to their sideline quite a bit, which is a tactic a lot of teams use. It's hard for us to see what's going on over there across the field, and Hunter was kind of trapped on that side, but he did a great job forcing everything back inside, being disciplined, taking on blocks, being a tough kid to block. You could see toward the end of the game there, when their kids weren't overly enthusiastic about going out there trying to get a hold on him anymore. I thought Dylan Kay, our defensive end, I thought he played really well, kind of in a similar situation where he was, having to kind of shut down and force things back inside all night. Not, overly glamorous work, but they tried trapping him a bunch of times, and he's a big, strong kid, so he's not going to let that happen very easily. And then I thought Jamison Burke has been playing really well in the secondary, getting guys aligned in the right spot, coming downhill and making hits at safety. So I thought he did a really nice job for us. and then our two inside backers, Matt Chatterton and Chase Davis. They do a lot of unseen work as well. They're up there making plays, flying through holes, being aggressive, being physical. So when you get those guys all operating in that way, it does a lot to lead to our
Yeah,
success.
and you guys have experienced some great success early on, so congratulations on that. So let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about Narragansett. Narragansett is a predominantly strong program. Over the years, they've had Super Bowl appearances and things of that nature. So you're not going to go in thinking that it's going to be an easy rollover in any capacity. And as a head coach, I wouldn't expect you to ever think that way. But talk a little bit about the preparation for this team and what's different about getting ready for this game versus any others.
Well, we don't see them very often. The program has history with them. I think they played the Super Bowl
92, 93. I was there actually on the sidelines coaching. Yes. Thanks for the memory lane.
Yeah. So was one of our coaches. My dad was coaching at Gansett back then. So there's history between the two schools. But that was a long time ago. So I don't think that really applies too much to the kids now. It's always tough when you play a team that you don't see very often because you don't really know what their tendencies are or what they want to try and do. And when you're scouting them, strength of opponents is always tough because they play teams that we don't see often. So you just try to be as grounded as you can and fundamentally sound as you can. They're a good team. They're 3-1. They've come back from some adversity in some of the games, so that they're and their kids play really hard and. We have a lot of respect for what they do. Like you said, traditionally they're a very good program, and so they're going to cause a lot of problems on Friday, and then it's up for us to try to figure out what those problems are and solve them.
Yeah, I like the Friday night lights though because it always brings out a nice crowd. There's no doubt, in that home field.
Yeah, we're excited to play on Friday.
Yeah. Talk about that for a second. Playing on a Saturday versus a Friday night, from a coach's standpoint, any differences? Did you notice anything? I looked up, and obviously, I don't think you have the same flavor in a crowd. But I will say I think there's a difference between playing at night and playing during the day.
Yeah, I think high school football is geared toward Friday nights. The kids are in school all day. The anticipation of playing on a Friday night all day, there's a more natural flow to the week playing on a Friday night because you have, Monday is the JV game for us, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, your walkthrough, Friday, your game, and then you get kids more time off too. There's a lot that goes into football. We practice every day, rain, shine, storms, whatever. So the kids they're working hard. It's nice to get them the extra day off on Saturday. For them to leave on a Friday and then have to come back Saturday morning, that presents some challenges. But you do get the extra day of practice on a Saturday game, so that. There's pros and cons to each. I much prefer Friday night games. Like I said, I think high school football entails itself to Friday nights. I think there's something, I do think there's something special about playing under the lights on a Friday in front of your crowd. It's like a cap to the week. So we're very excited about, it's our senior night. So it's the last home game that our seniors get as of right now, underneath the lights for the last time, and hopefully it's the culmination of 4 years of work that these kids have put into this program, and it'll be a fun night to recognize them and everything they've done in building the program back to what it is now.
Coach, you've done a really good job just keeping things in perspective, keeping the train moving in the right direction. Slow progression always wins out in the end. We don't get too high. We don't get too low. We focus on the things we can control, and good things do happen. So I love watching you guys play, and I love watching the growth in all the kids. So tribute to you and your coaching staff. Quick shout out to your coaching staff. Go ahead. You got about a minute and a half here. Talk about your.
Yeah, they've been doing great, and it's not just them, but their families as well. A lot goes into this. The wives of coaches know all too well the time, the effort, the demands that go into a football season. So, they've been great. They've done everything we've asked them to do. They've sacrificed quite a bit to make sure that they're here, that they're present, that they're focused. So fortunate. I don't do very much without them and the input that they have. So, we're all indebted to the work that they do every day.
Yeah, absolutely perfectly said. Shared it out equally right there, recognizing what they're all about. And again, it takes a village. I always say that. I don't care if you're a principal, you're a head coach. I don't care what sport it is. You got to have consensus. You got to have people around you, and you got to have a roadmap to success. And right now, Bay Path football is definitely heading in that direction under your leadership and your coaching staff. Just great stuff right there, Coach.
Yeah, and then we also, last thing is tomorrow night's also our youth football night. We're inviting up all of our sending towns, all of the Pop Warner or youth football programs that all of our kids come from, and talk about all the time. They're all invited up to the game. If they wear their jersey, they get in for free. So we're excited to see hopefully a big turnout from all of our sending towns and the youth football programs from those towns. And they can come up and see what we're all about up here.
Well, that's good stuff right there. Good community outreach and way to build a program. That's what it's all about. Coach Giampa, thank you so much for joining us here today. Once again, your football preview for the week. Great job. Continue the success. More importantly, keep guiding those kids to become better men, just better people, and just buying into what you're selling, man. And that's just about a journey together to get to the end line. So great stuff right there. Wish you the best of luck on behalf of everybody here down in the administration and the school community.
Thank you very much. We'll see you guys all tomorrow night.
Sounds great. 7 p.m. Narragansett Bay Path right there. Everybody have a great week. Hope to see you on the sidelines tomorrow night.